The Springfield Armory Echelon 4.0 FC. Let's check it out. The Echelon was introduced by Springfield Armory in 2023, and they introduced the full size. It was a replacement for the XD series. These are made in Croatia. They're imported by Springfield Armory. That first handgun, it really impressed me. When I got the compact model, I was very impressed. I mean, the 4-inch barrel, the shorter slide, about the Glock 19 size. But there are a lot of cool upgrades, especially around the slide area. I mean, this is one of the best slide configurations that I've ever seen. Plus, with the adaptive grip texturing, it just gives you a good solid purchase on the handgun. And that's important when you're shooting. But today we're going to take a look at the FC model, and that is full-length grip, compact slide, kind of the X series. And this gives you that leverage of the full grip, and yet you have that shorter slide with a shorter recoil system that actually tends to shoot better than either the compact or the full size. It's just one of those hybrids that make it extremely flat to shoot, and you have just better control. But also, one thing about the Echelon is it has that chassis system, so it is completely modular. I mean, there's a lot of cool things about the Echelon series. And we want to give a big thank you to Springfield Armory for sending the Echelon 4.0 FC for this review. Well guys, the Springfield Armory Echelon 4.0 FC, 9mm striker fire pistol, and this is again a big upgrade over the original XD series made by SH Product out of Croatia. And Springfield Armory has been importing these for a number of years, but now we're seeing a big upgrade from SH Product, and this is a huge upgrade. And we're going to take a look. We have already done a little comparison with some of the earlier models, but the big deal with the FC is that it has the full-length grip with a compact slide, similar to your Glock 45 or G19X. So you're getting that X factor. So full magazine capacity. Now we've got 17 round magazines, but also it comes with a 20 round magazine, and it does come with the available base plates to be able to switch out to 17 or to 20. And the one thing about the 17, it is a flush fit, but 20 rounds, I mean, that gives you a lot of capacity. Let's go ahead and safety check, drop out our 17 round magazine, check the chamber, and the gun is empty. The one thing about these handguns to me is the form factor, and really with the full size, I loved it. With the compact, it just really fit my hand extremely well. Very ergonomic, and here is the compact model. And this is actually the comped version, but same size, shorter slide, shorter grip, 15+1, and then you can get an extended magazine with it as well. Now, the big deal with the Echelon is that it has a chassis system, and it's internal, and it's called their central operating group. The one thing about a chassis is that is the gun, and we'll look at it when we break it down. But Springfield Armory offers grip modules that are actually smaller and larger. The actual grip, not just the back strap. And they also offer different colors. And so you can get this in an OD, you can get this in FDE, so you can kind of mix and match without having to buy a brand new gun. And they're very affordable because the serial number is in the chassis and it comes right through the polymer grip shell. Now we're going to look at some features. We've done the review of the compact, we've done a review of the full size. But a lot of times people stumble across these videos and they haven't seen the other one. So we're going to go through a whole review. This is what they call their adaptive grip texturing. And it is soft in a sense to the touch. I mean, you feel the texturing, but it's not too aggressive. Once you take it and grip it with your hand, put pressure on it, it really locks in that texturing. And so it gives you good solid feel, and it goes here at the top, it comes all the way around, and so it really just completely covers all the different parts that you're going to use. Plus you have your thumb extensions here for that real high ride grip to it. There's also texturing on your takedown lever, and of course on the other side use that as a memory pad for your trigger finger, just to remind you to keep it out of the trigger. So the grip itself is just a big plus. Also with the XD they had a grip safety, and so this just kept it from firing unless you had a grip on the handgun. And really that was made popular during World War I with the original 1911. But a lot of people really didn't care for this. This goes straight to that striker fire. But not only is there a trigger safety, which we'll look, there's also a double sear safety inside. This is going to make this drop safe. It's not going to inadvertently go off, and so this is going to just give you a redundant safety that's going to help. There's no frame safety, which honestly you don't need. The safety should be your trigger finger, just keep it out of the trigger. But also you can see that the texturing has been well updated, and also the bore axis is much lower than the XD. One of the things about the XD is that it had a higher bore axis. I like low bore axis. The big thing about it is that it gets your hand up high next to the slide, and so the reciprocal motion going back and forth, it just makes it more towards your hand. It makes it easier to control. And what I like to say is if you grip down here and you're firing it, it goes wildly recoil wise. Bring it up higher and you just have more control. The slide stop is minimal, but it's very positive. And so it just locks, and it is a slide release. You got to get a hold of it, and I hit the magazine release. The magazine release also has that texturing, but it also has a rise with this ramp. And this just keeps it from inadvertently hitting it, and you can use it as a rest for your thumb. So it just gives it dual purpose, and it is ambidextrous. And also your slide stop is also ambidextrous. 3-slot Picatinny rail, and we have texturing here on the front of the trigger guard. Here is a double undercut. So you have a nice undercut right behind the trigger, then you have that double undercut. It just allows you to get more of a natural grip to it. If you only cut here, it can knock off your point of aim. Also, the angle coming up is really nice. You do have extended back straps if you want them, and you can fit that to your hand. The big thing about a back strap is that it's not that it just feels better, but that it allows you to set the grip that when you bring your finger around, it's not way in here if you have really big hands, and it's not just on the edge if you have small hands. And so it gives you that natural feel on the pad of the trigger, which really allows for you to be able to get really good trigger control. While I love the grip designs and the changes, the slide is what I really like. It has a metalite finish, it's billet steel, it's been machined, and it has really deep serrations. Look at those. They call this the trench at the front, and it actually comes to a shelf right here, allows you to really be able to grip that, and they're deep serrations spread apart. Back here at the back, same thing. But also it has these extended cocking ears. So it gives you that leverage to be able to grip and pull back. One of the things about this slide design and the texturing is that this is made to manipulate in extreme harsh conditions, and whether you have gloves, whether you have your hands are cold, they're wet, it just gives you those deep serrations. And one of the things that's happened lately is a lot of the slides actually added bulk to them. Now it builds up the slide, it builds up the serrations, it makes it nice to be able to rack, but it makes it thicker. And I really like what the Echelon offers is just a very slim line, and then they cut into the slide, and so it just gives you that gripping surface, and yet it makes it still really thin. Also, we have an optics cover plate. This is optics ready, and guys, this is their variable interface system is what they call it. But this system, and we'll look at this in a minute, will take up to 30 different red dot sights. It has a pin system that you can change things around, and guys, it is one of the best in the industry as far as adaptability, whatever you're looking for. Also, we have that white U-notch at the back, and then we have a tritium with a luminescent front, and so it's really easy to see during the day. Also, when you put on your red dot, it's flush fit and it's cut into the slide, so the sight itself rides really low. So that allows for your sights to actually 1/3 co-witness. Now for your optics cover plate, it is metal. It does have serrations that match with the serrations on your slide. So here there are multiple holes, you have different pins, you do the insert for whatever fits your optic. And that's the reason why that you can put up to 30 different optics on this handgun. And each of these small posts just come out and they fit into the right hole. So it's a very easy system to change out your optics if you need to. And guys, included are all the different screws and the different pin styles for you to be able to place whatever optic you want to. So a really cool system. Now, why do you want the longer grip with the shorter slide? Well, first off is that you have more leverage with the long grip. You have a shorter recoil system. You have the slide coming back in a quicker and shorter recoiling pattern. It changes the way that this shoots. One of the things about having a short slide with a short grip is that it can be sometimes a little snappy. And the longer the slide and just the more weight, it just tends to shoot a little flatter. But when you give it that short recoil system with the long slide, it just helps to mitigate the recoil much better. And that's what I found with a number of different handguns that have gone to this. I mean, this has become very popular. Now, a lot of people will say that this actually is harder to conceal because the grip is what prints, but it makes this really fast to pull out of your holster. A lot faster than a full-length handgun. So it's one of those things that's give and take. Whether you take the short slide with the short grip or the long slide with the long grip, this is just an in-between. And guys, to be honest, it just shoots really well. Guys, not only can you change out the frame with what Springfield Armory is offering, and I'm sure others will come around. This is the Icarus Precision frame. It's on the full size. And we did a full review on this. This actually changes the way that the Echelon shoots altogether. And this is a really great system. But that just gives you an idea of all the different things you can do with this handgun because of the chassis system. Now, when it comes to the trigger, you have your trigger safety, and that means you've got to have a full pad on the trigger. And you can see that it disengages when you push it down. So here, take up right to here. It's not a whole lot of take up. We hit a wall, we have just a touch of resistance, and then a nice break. Reset right there. Really fast reset. The trigger's not bad, but it's not like an exceptional trigger. And we're going to check the trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 4 pounds, 9.4 ounces. 4 pounds, 4.1 ounces. And the weight on the Echelon 4.0 FC, 25.14 ounces. Big thank you to Fiocchi for sponsoring our ammo, all made right here in the USA. One of the biggest suppliers of ammunition in the country. And also, we love Maglula. Lula loaders are the bomb. All right, guys, Springfield Armory Echelon 4.0 FC. Of course, the big thing is the full-length grip with the shortened slide. Just gives you more to grip, more leverage, shorter recoil system, which tends to just shoot better, in my opinion, especially with that longer grip. Gives you more leverage. Controls, the slide is over the top. I mean, you can, I don't care what kind of environment you're in, you're going to be able to manipulate this slide. Very well designed. Sights show up really well with that U-notch and the tritium bead luminescent circle. Grip texturing is Echelon, which, guys, the Echelon has just been an excellent handgun. We have the 17 round and the 20 round magazines. And I like those cocking gears on the back. That leverage, I'm telling you guys, with that shorter recoil spring and the leverage, it does make a big difference. It's just very shootable. The ledge right here for your thumb, I've had some that were more aggressive, but you can get a hold of it and it will help manage the recoil. Low bore axis, so you're getting that lower feel with the slide coming over your hand, just a little bit shorter distance, and just makes it more shootable. Ambi controls, so I can drop it with either one. As far as just shooting it though, you can know that you have that leverage. It's pretty cool. It just shoots flat. One of the things about having the full size is there's more slide pass coming back. It bounces up just a touch. Not really a lot of muzzle flip, just a little bit of a bounce. With the shorter grip, just has a little less control over it. You don't feel, even though it's pretty full size. I mean, you get your hand around it, but there's something about that extra leverage that just really makes a difference. I'm telling you guys, I mean, you can see it shoots really flat. The Echelon, I have been extremely impressed with this handgun series.
I really like this gun. I like the grip a lot. It feels like it's sturdy in my hands. The recoil edge is a little slippery. I feel like my thumb's coming out of it. I like the Glock Gen 6 a lot. I think I've been spoiled with that. But other than that, I really like the sights. I love the U on that side. I feel like I can find it very quickly. Seems very accurate. I love it. I like everything about this. I am a big fan of the Echelon, but this one just shoots so smooth and it's flat. And I love all the things about this thing.
All right, for disassembly, let's drop our magazine, go ahead and check the chamber. The gun is empty. We're gonna bring it back into slide lock, and then we're gonna bring down our takedown lever, and then we're gonna release our slide. And you don't have to pull the trigger. Next, we have our recoil spring and our guide rod. It is polymer. And then we have our 4-inch cold hammer forged barrels. These are really well done. We do have a slight crown in here to preserve accuracy, but with the cold hammer forged, it just gives you longer life as far as accuracy, and they're just excellently made. Here with the frame, we have our chassis system. Now this actually comes out of a handgun, and all is left is the polymer. So it's a pretty cool system, and we're gonna take that out for you. We've done that on the others, but this makes it so modular where you can change this out with the different grips, again, or if you want to go with an Icarus frame. But that's really all you need to do to field strip. And to take out the chassis, you don't need to do that all the time, but it makes it really nice to be able to take it out, clean out your fire control group. It just really keeps that trigger action clean. So first thing, we're going to take our takedown lever and we're just going to wiggle it out. And there is a little bar here, so you have to kind of finagle it into the right position. It's almost like a puzzle. There it comes. Now you see this little nub, and the metal chassis needs to go past that nub because there are some small little ears down in here that are locking in to the frame. So we're going to take and push forward, and you can see that it's already started moving. And once you get it pushed forward, you can just start bringing up the rear of your chassis. Now you want to make sure that you don't mar up your frame with those front tabs, but it allows you to get a little bit better grip on it. There we go. The first time, again guys, and I've taken these apart a couple of times already, and that first time is a little tough. After that, it starts to work out. Here you see these ears, they go into the back of the frame, and then right here you have these little nubs that fit under it. So once you get that loose, it comes right out. This is considered your firearm, and it's serialized. Of course, all the parts are actually serialized just to make sure that it's the same gun. But this is a great little system, and you can, again, put this in a number of different frames, and it makes it very modular. Now for reassembly, what we're going to do is go from the back, making sure that our trigger is in place, and then we're going to push it. Once we get it placed like that, we're going to just push it back, and you want to measure it by this little nub, just like that. So now we're back in place. Now when putting back your takedown lever, you want to do the same. You got that angle, so you're going to try to get that past that little bar. And it just, again, takes some working around until you get it in. Now, you want to take your lever and bring it all the way up. And the reason for this is because if you don't, it's not going to fit right. Because you want it to fit where it's grooved in, just like that. If it's off of this little edge, that means you need to pull it back out. If you try to push it straight in, it won't fit like this. So now, the takedown lever is in. Now take your barrel, return it. Take your recoil spring and guide rod, put it back in, bring it back over your slide lock, bring up your lever, and We're back in business. Otis makes some of the best cleaning equipment out there. They make a number of different kits. They also have Shooter's Choice, which makes excellent CLP and bore solvent and different cleaning materials. The Ripcord is one of their signatures, and there's a whole system based around it. They are suppliers to the U.S. military. So check out Otis Technologies, highly recommended, and we want to thank Otis for being a sponsor of the channel. Now you get a cardboard box with Springfield Armory logo. Inside we get a case, and I really like these little cases. They're very compact. Open it up, you have your pistol, but also you have a place to set magazines. Just a casual range case, but really nice, and these are very well made. Also here at the bottom there's a little compartment. Here we have our extra magazine with a mag loader, and we also have a couple of additional back straps, and you have a tool at the end to be able to do different operations. We also have the 20 round extension right here that you can put on the flush fit magazine. And we have our Springfield Armory lock. MSRP $710. You can typically get market price, will be a little bit less according to where you go. What are some pros and cons? First off, the Echelon series has been excellent. I mean, it just shoots really well. I love the chassis system. That's a huge plus. The adaptive grip texturing feels really great in the hand. The ergonomics are nice. The slide cuts are over the top. And this just gives you the ability, no matter what the situation, to manipulate this slide. And I like the cocking ears. Also, with the variable interface system, over 30 different red dots, you can mount it direct to the slide and everything's there. That is a huge plus. It's going to give it a very secure fit, and you can switch this out without adapter plates, without rising the sight up. And the sights. I love the XD series sights. That U-notch and that tritium at the front just makes it a great sight picture. And these will co-witness. And we have the chassis system. That is one of the big things if you want to change out anything. So if you break a grip, if you break the frame, you can replace it. You can also set it up for different grip widths, for different hand sizes and different colors. And again, if you want to go with a metal chassis system, there are a number out there. The ambi controls, undercut, double undercut, and guys, this is just an excellent handgun. So at this point, I haven't heard any cons. This was very reliable at the range, it's accurate, and it's just very ergonomic. And the Echelon series is just expanding. We had the compact with the 4-inch barrel and the shorter grip, and then the full size with the 17 round capacity, and again 20 rounds. So it gives you a lot of options just as is, but then when you can add the Icarus chassis system or others and different grip shells, I mean, the sky's the limit. So guys, we live in the golden age of firearms, and there are so many choices to fit whatever your preference is. For me, the Echelon really just kind of trips my trigger, no pun intended. The slide configuration is just top-notch. I've never seen anything like it. And then with the optics system that's highly adaptable, up to 30 different optic settings, and the adaptive grip texturing, I mean, there's a lot of cool features about the Echelon. And then with the 4.0 FC, you have that longer grip with a shorter slide. It's a great combination. And again, a big thank you to Springfield Armory for sending the Echelon 4.0 FC for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. All made right here. My gosh. And we want to give a big thank you to Springfield Armory for sending the and we want to give it is a slide release. You got to get a hold of it, and I hit the magazine release. Okay. Let's go ahead and safety check the handgun. Got a magazine. Okay. But for me, the Echelon, that grip, that whatever.